is like we created like a user interface that can work, like can provide features for querying the database. And that's what I've shown earlier. We have like those two-term search, shortest path search, like neighbor search, enrichment analysis. And to build that UI, we use like this following technologies: Next.js, Cytoscape, React.js, and Neo4j. So if you want to build on your own, so you can do it. So you can first, you have to clone this repository. So again, that's this gene knowledge graph. So you just clone this one. This is what we've been using. And and yeah, so we can adapt the knowledge graph user interface to our data using a schema.json file. So the UI component uses the value of the environment variable, so the next public schema, to replace this default schema. So to modify it, just go to your .env file. Remember, just copy your end example file to .env and then replace your next public schema with this one. So miniarrow.dev.iamlab.cloud.enricherkg/schema_v2. So this will load schema v2 in the UI, and then you can run npm run dev and go to localhost 3000. So let's try that. So here is, here's the code. It's clear. So if I run npm run dev, so let's see. It says localhost. I think it's already running. That's why it's oh yeah, it's already running here. Let me try this one. Local npm run dev. Okay, there we go. So if we go to localhost 3000, why is it slow? There you go. And you have something that looks like this. It's kind of new. I mean, it's kind of different from what I've been showing earlier because this is like a new user interface that I haven't uploaded yet. But so if you go to EnricherKG, the website, it looks kind of different from this. So I will be updating it to this one. But yeah, it's currently looks like this right now. And let me just walk you through the features so you can try an example and put some stuff in there. And then if you want to select more libraries, you can search here, or you can also, click here. For example, if you want, I don't know, like human phenotype ontology in here, it will show you like the libraries that you want to put there. And another feature is that you can also search for enricher terms, and then use that as a library. But, you can search and perform enrichment analysis on this 4 libraries. And we'll tell you something like this. Just ignore this error. This is like a dev error. But yeah, so if you have something like this, so you can toggle for edge labels. You can download the graph. Also, you can switch layouts. So if you want a more hierarchical layout, or like a geometric layout, you can have something like this. And yeah, so here are the other stuff. You can download the actual subnetwork as a CSV file. And what else? So you can download it, view it in Enricher, and then share it, and so on. And there's also like a tabular view wherein you can actually like look at the enrichment result as a table and also as a bar graph. So here's what we have. We also have like this term and gene search that I've been mentioning earlier. Let's see. There you go. And then you can have like a gene label, and then also has the same functionalities, and then you can also toggle for an end node and APOE, so maybe other disease like GFAP maybe. So this is Alzheimer's and then GFAP. So here are like this is the shortest path we've been mentioning earlier, like what are the shared terms between GFAP and APOE. So here are just some of the functionalities. And there are other stuffs here that these are just static pages like tutorials as well as download assets. So let me just walk you through how, if you want to create your own, if maybe you're building your Neo4j and you want to use this one, how do we create like this schema. Slideshow. The basic idea is we want to customize the node search. So first, we have like the schema file. I guess I should show that. Here's the schema file. So here is where we define how the nodes will look like, what examples we are using, what we are displaying on the tooltips, and then the edges. We also have this one. So similar stuff in there. And then if you want to modify the header, we have this header functionality wherein we can define like the icons, and then the tabs here. This just defines like the pages that we are using. Then we have the footer. I will go through it one by one in a little bit. So quickly. So first we want customized node search. So we have like the nodes here. So the node field can be used to define a list of nodes that we have in the Neo4j database. So here we have the gene node. So remember earlier when I click here, so you have like the start with. If you actually click on that one, you will see the options that you have. And then we have like here we're in this the search field, so we can search for specific fields, and then here are the examples. So just looking at it here, where's that? Okay, here. So here you can see like the different types of nodes, and then here like the label, accession. So if you have like multiple IDs, maybe synonyms or whatnot, you can put it here. And then next. Uh Next, we also have like we have tooltips that I've shown, and you can customize what's displayed in the tooltip using this display thing. So just say the label, this is the label, and then the text is just what part of the what property are you want, what property is you're pulling that data label from, and then the type. So it can be a text, a numerical figure, or something. And then for the edges, it's kind of the same. So we have like match here, and you're gonna match the edges based on what's inside in here. And then some templates. I haven't shown this, but this is for like just some automated can produce like automated summary of like a graph. And then we have like display here. Oh yeah, here is the edges. So we have like keg pathway. So here's where you define like the different relationships. And here, so you can customize the edge search result. So if you want, for example, links L1000 can put downregulated. So the color there is this one. So the downregulated is like a blue color, but for the upregulated, we define it as a red color. So you can define the colors in here so that you can modify the edge search results. And next, edge display. So similar to what we had for the nodes, you can define like you have like display property wherein you define the label, the text where in the properties you will get that information, and then the type. And then we have the headers. So the header here is where you define like the title of the header. So it can be, you can have like a safe yeah, the title here, like the name, the background color, if you want it to be black, or like whatever color that you want, customize it. Icons, you can select your icons, the fab icon for like the tabs, and then the width and the height if you want to customize that. And then the more important one, I guess, is this tabs or pages. So here, so I've shown you the tabs earlier. This is where we actually define the pages that will be included in your UI. So for example, here we have like the slash terms and gene search. So it will go to like this endpoint. And then the component, the important part here is this component. So the knowledge graph. So in the code, we currently have like this async component, and here are like the currently available components. So have like the knowledge graph or the basic knowledge graph with like the start with, end with function. We have enrichment for enrichment analysis, and then some other components that we have here. Markdown, this is like from a different project, and then downloads for if you want to like a custom download file, so we can actually also call that. So, and this will be updated as soon as there are other use cases that we need for like our knowledge graph products, but this is what is important, as well as the props. So the props here is actually dependent on what component you're calling. And so we will be documenting what the props are needed, but it's actually also defined. If you go to like the components pages, it's actually defined what props you need and what type of variable is in that props. So we'll just give like a more comprehensive description of what these are. But yeah, you can define those props and put it in this in this in this field, like the tabs field, and then it will just, what happens is it will feed that props to this component, and then it will render it accordingly. So that way you don't have to code that much, you just like define really what you need, tell them what you need, and then give it like the properties that you need, and it will display like those predefined components. And last, we have the footer. So this one, it's just the style. You have the background color, the color, and then there's this layout. Layout is basically a list of lists. So this list is like a list. So the bigger list is like the division here. So like this one, this one, this one. So the first one is, I said, oh, I want this logo with the following details, whether I'll have the source, which is this logo, and then the title is in which are KG, and then the color is just inherited and it's small. And then we had like this GitHub repo, so the code, these are like the links to GitHub, so we put it in there. And then the next two are just icons, so the Mayan Lab icons, and then the Center for Bioinformatics icons is next. And yeah, so once we have that, and among other things, we can save that schema, and then we can now do deployment. So to do deployment, you just first put app name in their environment variable. For this one, it's initial KG, and then do npm version, whether patch, minor, major. So there are like some subtle differences in there. And then Kubernetes installation. So, and then if you run npm version, it will build its own Docker container and push it, and then you can potentially just use it. But if you're running Kubernetes, here are some of the installation commands. So you can install it, or you can upgrade it if you're doing upgrade. And yeah, that's basically it. And here are some resources for Next.js and Cytoscape. And yeah, if you have any questions, I guess.